Hey guys, and welcome to the Ultimate Guide to Figma. My name's Adam, and I'm going to be your instructor. This course is designed for really complete beginners to either Figma or design. If you've had no design experience but are interested in learning Figma and building out some designs, or if you know a bit about design but you're not really that comfortable with Figma, you may have played around with it but you don't really understand all of the features, this course is going to be great for you. Also, if you do have some design knowledge and some experience in Figma, but you just want to level up a little bit, make sure you're doing things correctly, then this course is also going to be great for you. So to begin with, we're just going to get to know Figma. So I'll run through the basic layout of Figma, how to navigate through the different features. We're going to jump into the editor. I'll just break down the editor a little bit, simplify it. It can be a little bit overwhelming when you first jump into the editor. So we'll just make sure we cover all the different aspects, all the different features. Make sure you're comfortable with the editor so it doesn't seem so daunting. Then we're going to get into setting up some styles. So styles are a great feature in Figma. We use our styles to bring consistency across our designs. So things such as typography, color, icons, we typically set up as styles. Then we'll go through the use of frames and auto layout. So frames are a powerful thing. They're similar to groups, but we actually use frames more than we use groups in Figma. And again, there's different parts of frames that I'll cover in that framing lesson. And then we'll actually use frames to cover auto layout. So auto layout is a really powerful feature. Essentially, it's using rows and columns, but using rows and columns in different ways to bring consistency throughout our designs and actually speed up the design process. It's how we can structure different layouts. We often use auto layout to achieve that, and it takes the guesswork out of our designs because it's all done on calculations, and Figma does all of that for us. Then we'll go on to components. So components are typically smaller little pieces of our design where we use in multiple different places. So a good example would be a button where we'd want to have various different types of buttons. So we may want a primary, a secondary, like an outline, a destructive, a success button. We may want different states, so such as hover states for each of those buttons. Then we may also want smaller buttons for different parts of the design or for mobile screens. But we don't want to have to create these designs every single time we make a button. So we actually just make all of these once, which we call a component. That component then, that's just one button I bring onto a screen, and I can, from this little menu on the side, I can quickly navigate through the different variants of this button. I can change it to large, to small, all with the click of these few drop downs here. I don't have to then create a button every single time. And then finally, we're just going to make this all come together by building out a landing page. The landing page will have all of the different features within it, and it will reinforce everything that I've taught you up until that stage. So here we have like a navbar component. We have a hero section, which we've used a heading style. We've used a body style. We have a button component. We have imagery. We have auto layout with 2 columns. And then auto layout, we also have padding on the hero section. On this logo section, we have multiple columns. Again, we have a 2-column feature section, but on the right-hand column, we have multiple rows. Then we have this different card layout on the right-hand side, different imagery aspect ratios, which we'll also cover, and how to render those images correctly. Then we have the small testimonial section. There's some smaller design details that we'll also include here, such as we have a nice soft background gradient, some stroke outlines, some background shadows, and we also have some background blurs on these navigation icons either side. So we'll cover all of those. Then an FAQ section and a call to action section at the bottom. Again, we have like a nice soft gradient on this call to action and the background image. all stuff that's actually fairly straightforward in Figma, and you'll actually realize how easy it is just to add these little slight tweaks to your designs, these slight flares, and they really bring the design to life. And yeah, it'll help level up your designs, and you can see how easily we can build out a full landing page within Figma. So with that being said, let's get stuck into that first lesson.